Hey guys, Trev from the Struggling Artist Podcast, and I want to talk to you real quick about Struggling Artist Record Club. The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today.
You're listening to the Struggling Artist Podcast.
People need to be entertained. They need the distraction.
With your host, Trev Allen.
I wish to God that somebody would do something to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the record recap for the Struggling Artist Record Club for May of 2024. With me, as always, Chris Chavez. Hello, Chris.
What's up? What's up? I feel like you need to have the horns or something. May 2024. Bam, 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 bam.
I have something. Hold on.
I know you got
I
something.
have something, right? Hold on. There it is.
There you go.
All right.
That's what you need.
For May 2024. And this month, we'll be talking about On the Cinders' new album, Heavy Handed.
Yeah.
Which came out beginning of May. Just in enough time for me to grab them from them while they were here and mail them out. So everyone got theirs pretty early. This month, too, they got them pretty. Anyway, that's a different story.
You got yours hand delivered?
Yeah.
I get mine hand delivered too. Anytime I order anything from them, they drop it right to my house themselves.
Yeah. Well, they were playing in Worcester and they came by the house. So I was like, yeah, come by. I made them coffee because they looked like they were all dead to the world. I'm like, let me get you guys some coffee, you know?
Nice. Yeah. No, they're good dudes, man. Hardworking DIY guys, man. And when you say DIY, hand delivered to your house.
Yeah. They record all their own music. They produce everything themselves.
Yep.
And then they deliver it to your house. They just drive around that's their touring. They tour and deliver it. And they will not. I'm making this part up, but what I'm going to say is their touring schedule is based off of who buys records, and they go to the cities. And I'm kidding.
No. Yeah.
They're a great bunch of guys, and it was really cool to be able to do this with them with their brand new record, right? So
yeah.
So all right. So before we get into that, we've got some previous housekeeping. Yeah, we got some previous reviews to catch up on.
Yeah, we invite members of the club to, if they didn't get a chance to send in the review by the time we do this recording, they can send it in at any time. We'll record. We'll read it on the show.
Yeah, it's always
anytime.
We can do a recap of the recap.
Yeah, this is almost like a reader review, but it's like a listener review, right? Like club member reviews.
Yeah, I like this. So this one comes from Ryan, who is a faithful reviewer of ours. Him and Dave are basically our biggest reviewers.
Yeah. They're contributors.
Basically, yeah, at this point. All right, here we go. My record review will unfortunately need to begin with a review of my local USPS mail carrier who failed to deliver my monthly record for April, Radar Waves, Dirt.
Oh, that's right.
I sent him 2, and neither one of them made it to him, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
And the address was correct. I sent him 2. I had an extra one, and I said, you know what, man? I got this extra one. I'm gonna send it to you with On the Cinder's record.
Yep.
And you'll have both. Mm-hmm. And it didn't make it.
So there's 2 records he didn't get. 3,
technically
2.
3. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, hold on. They delivered it somewhere, just not to me. I hope the other recipient enjoys it. I stopped by the post office several times to get info about the issue. They also didn't deliver my girth control records that he ordered. Oh man! But at least they had the decency to leave them at the post office where I could pick them up. Moving forward to May's record delivery, once again, the mail carrier let me down and did not deliver my record to me. I hope it went to the same person as the other record, and they also enjoyed this one too. It's very nice of them. I stopped at the post office again in order to sort this out, and left with the supervisor promising to call me with an update the next day. Not much of a surprise that my phone never rang. Mm-hmm. Next month, I secretly hope the other recipient is really disappointed and not receiving more free records to enjoy. Maybe they will become a new member of the record club.
There you go. Right? Imagine that.
Ryan, thank you for having a positive spin on this whole situation.
Yeah,
it sucks,
right?
man. There's nothing I can do about that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like if it was me, then that would be one thing, and but like I mailed them 2 copies of Dirt, and so I will say this: he actually ordered On the Cinder as well from them, so at least he has it from them. And then I think he picked one up when he went and saw them last night. All right, 0 stars for my mail carrier. Do not recommend. They can go fuck themselves. All right, without further delay, on to the record review, starting with April. April, Radar Waves, Dirt. As usual for me, with a new record, this one took me several listens to get into. I need time to get familiar with it. I've listened to this album several times on Bandcamp. Fuck the post office. Overall, this record reminds me of the early to mid 90s back in high school and some of the grunge that was huge at the time. Mm-hmm. This album is full of catchy tunes with a great sing-along chorus like from Beg, Borrow, Steal. I've got no pot to piss in. Fucking up is the family tradition. Oh, he's reading lyrics to me. I'm sorry. I've got no pot to piss in. Fucking up is the family tradition. Makes this album great to listen to while speeding down the highway with the windows down. Ryan, slow it down, dude. We want you to be a member of this record club forever. We don't need you to take yourself off the board because you're speeding around listening to Radar Waves. And I'm sure Charlie would appreciate, but also have concern about your driving if you're speeding. Charlie's a good guy. I lost my spot. All right, here we go. It might also be great to listen to at home on vinyl, but I wouldn't know because fuck the post office. God damn it. My favorite track is the closing track named Anxiety. I noticed this one on my first listen when the acoustic intro and powerful lyrics, I'm not all right for the 100th time, and I can't be alone. True colors have shown. As someone dealing with mental health issues like chronic depression and anxiety, I always enjoy a song that resonates with me like this one. I know I'll have anxiety prior to the next month's record because fuck the post office. All right, so there's then he's got Maze, but we're not going to do that right now, right? We're going to do that in a little bit.
Yep.
But he's got another review here, and it's directed to you.
Uh-oh, bring it.
Yeah, it's directed to you, Chris. For Chris, Meatwave. Malign Hex. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
All right. Patreon subscribers should recognize the band Meatwave from many episodes of Chopping It Up, as often suggested band for the song pick to close the episode. I was recently at a local record store thumbing through the M section and came across Meatwave, Malign Hex. Spoiler alert, I bought the record. I wasn't really sure what to expect based on the way Trev reacts whenever Chris brings them up. Hey, hold on. God damn it. Listen to me. I like Meatwave. This is a running gag is what this is. This is a running gag.
I love it.
God
I love
damn it. All right. I lost my place. I'm so mad. Hold on.
I love it. That's amazing.
All right.
Spreading the meat wave, dude. We're spreading the meat wave.
That's good. That's good. I mean, if you book him on the fucking show, we would talk to him and maybe get him in the record club. But
Damn, he snagged that album. That's awesome, dude. Because I think they sold out on Bandcamp, and I wasn't able to grab the vinyl. I'm gonna have to look around and see if I can't find it.
There's something about finding records in the wild, man.
Oh, isn't it the best, dude? Especially if it's something you've been looking for,
or like a homie. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, even better. Yeah.
So, all right, hold on. I lost my place, man. Oh man, I'm so fired up right now because he said. All right, here we go. And came across Meatwave, Malign Hex. Spoiler: I bought the record. I wasn't really sure about what to expect based on the way Trev reacts whenever Chris brings him up. Fuck off. But I figured the worst thing that could happen is I'd be out $20. At least I had it in my hands and wasn't waiting for it to be delivered because fuck the post office. This record was interesting to me. This record was interesting for me to listen to with the backstory for why I chose it and the way it began with a steady drum beat behind a droning guitar melody. With the opening track named Disney, though it's certainly not a feel-good track about cartoon characters with lyrics like if anyone ever asks you to choke your own neck, oblige out of respect.
Yep.
Okay. Is that
Love
how this? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
The final track on side A is called Complaint, which seems like a good time to bring up how shitty my local post office is. This is pretty good. The lyrics, I've got a complaint. Was it bad to begin with, or did you do a shitty job? Were you paid off, getting laid off on an apathetic knob? It really resonated with me for some reason, and I just can't figure it out. Although the sound of the album is not what I would typically be drawn to, this record is growing on me after several listens. Noise rock, post-punk, or however the band might be classified. This was a good introduction to Meatwave. Lyrics included, printed on the sleeve. All right.
Nice.
Thank you, Ryan, for reviewing your post office.
Thank you.
Reviewing your post office. Reviewing Radar Waves, even though you never received them. And for reviewing an album we've never talked about.
Dude, that's just awesome. I'm glad that somebody was just like, hey, I hear them talk about this. Let me check this band out.
That's it.
That's
man.
dope, dude.
That's it. I'm happy he got it. I'm happy he got it.
Hell yeah.
Is that the one with like the grinding, like the teeth on the cover?
No, I don't think so.
It's like a blue cover. I might be wrong.
I can't.
All right. So before we get into today's reviews for the record that we're actually going to be talking about, I'm going to do the readout for it. Okay.
Sure.
All right. The readout goes as this. Friends, May's selection is the brand new record from On the Cinder, Heavy Handed, out of Buffalo, New York. You don't get much more DIY than On the Cinder. They record their own stuff and put it out on their own label, Flower House Records. They're an angsty three-piece that combines melodic punk and hardcore, but I wouldn't call them melodic hardcore. Once you check it out, you'll see what I mean. All of On the Cinder's records are so good, but Heavy Handed seems to be a bit more frustration, anger, and a little more polished than the former ones. There's something to say about a band that has been together for over a decade and hasn't changed personnel. It shows in their body of work, and for this band, it's no different. Turn it up to 11 and enjoy this one. And then I talk about sending out another copy of The End Is Nigh because I keep finding them in my house. So
Nice.
yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's the readout. I think that's a pretty safe assessment of the record for me. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, dude.
And like I listened to it this morning just to have it, and I made sure I got the whole thing. I listened. There's not a bad song on this record. There just isn't. Like every song just fucking is great, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. I like that, dude. I've been a fan of On the Cinders for a while. I've been a fan of their work for a while. This album, you could tell it's like what you said. It's got this kind of a little bit angrier feel to it. A little bit, not that their other stuff wasn't angry, but I feel like they really lean into the hardcore in this album more. And there's a lot more. I don't know. There's a conviction. There's something from inside, like this thing that's inside, that's like growling and ready to come out, and you can hear it throughout these songs. And I love like even the way it kicks off with Smells Like American Spirit, like that, pay your $5 at the door and get down here, that boom right in your face. And it's almost like saying like, get ready because you're in for the show, right? And the entire album's the show. By the end, you're spent. It was, I would listen to it a few times before we recorded just to get it in my head and get that feeling of what I wanted to say about it. Every song, like you said on here, bangs, dude. It's so good. Even spots where they kind of fall back a little and it's a little bit more slower or softer or more what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. I can't think this morning without all my sleep, dude. I need sleep. Anyway, no, dude, it's a great album. I think these guys nailed it with this album. I think they knocked it out of the park. I think this is a great one to have on your collection. So the fact that people who are members of the club got this as their album is killer. It's a killer album, dude.
Yeah, I think so. And like, I know what you're saying with like, even their softer songs have this thing. I want to sample one. You want to hear one real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Right, I think this is the one you're thinking of. I hope this is the one. It's called Bravest New Face, right? This is how.
Oh, that's the one I worked on. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a sec. Yeah.
I'll wait. You want me to wait then?
No. Go ahead.
See, it's got that real soft, almost like a KCUF song.
Oh yeah, dude. I listened to this song easily 60 times in a row.
Yeah.
I knew that it'd get hotter as I got older. The sun is coming up now and I start to wonder where my time went. An empty house yells out.
Yeah, it's real just mellowed out and chill.
For a moment though.
My friends are so distant now. It's hard to remember when we would get drunk just so we
almost like a fragility, right? Like they're showing there's a fragileness that immediately gets covered. It's like, no, here comes the heart.
Yeah, once it breaks.
Lie about how good it's been. I just tell
Here we go.
I'm doing all right. Everyone always says they're doing just fine. Everyone's doing just fine. Everyone's doing just fine.
This almost has a theatrical feel to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got like it's got this like disjointedness to it too. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just like maniacal, or you know what I mean? Like a manic kind of style.
Yeah, like someone's going crazy. Yeah.
That's a good tune.
It is a good tune, dude. So I've listened to that a trillion times because we talked about it on the show and we teased it. We never really fully got into it, but I was working with the guys to start trying to get to shoot a video for them for this song. And
this was the song. Okay,
this was the song. Yeah, and then we had a lot of issues with scheduling. Nobody's fault, just that things just didn't line up. And no matter what, every time we'd be like, all right, let's see what the next few weeks looks like. Nothing lined up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it became this thing of like, we'll just have to wait and see when there's a little bit more time, what we can do. So, but otherwise, man, like, yeah, I loved the song. Obviously listening to it over and over, it's one of those ones that got stuck in my head. And I really, really do dig this song. I love that opening. I love how it brings us in, but then it just goes off. Right. And you listen to the rest of the song and it's dope, dude. And so for me, I think also there's a special thing where when I listen to it now, I see what the video was supposed to be. You know what I mean? In my head.
That's a cool thing. Yeah.
So like as I'm listening to it, I'm watching the video play out in my head. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Or what it would have been, right?
Yeah. Or still can be. Who knows?
True.
But at the end of the day, dude, it's still good music. And these guys are still dope musicians. And yeah, dude, that's what I was saying. They didn't, it's like in this album, there's moments of fragility that it doesn't matter because, and when I say it doesn't matter, it's like they go there. It's not about like we're just going to be hardcore and tough throughout this entire album, right?
Right.
You have moments where you can feel that, right? Even before this song, I believe the song before it ends kind of slowing down and more of a, a chiller vibe.
Yeah, so I mean that's why I said like they're not melodic hardcore, they're melodic punk and hardcore. Like they do these two different things,
Yeah.
They just don't like, So I
You know what I like about them too, dude? I don't know. Have you noticed this? That they don't typically follow the verse, chorus, verse style of songwriting. You know what I mean? Like they'll give you sections of music and composition and story as it goes along. And the music goes based on what they're telling you, what the story is, or how the lyrics are playing out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you're not getting the typical this, and maybe throw a bridge in there, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's what makes them too, like doing stuff like that, So
yeah, dude. Yeah.
I was a big fan of it. All right, are we gonna go back to Ryan and finish up his reviews, or do you want to go?
Let's hear.
Or
what
do you
want to
go to? You want to do? We'll do Dave last. We'll do Dave last.
Well, apparently there's an opus to behold. So
yeah. All right, cool. All right, so Ryan for Heavy Handed. Patreon subscribers should at least be familiar with this band On the Cinder, from Chris mentioning them several times since they are a Buffalo, New York-based band. Oh yeah, Trev also just interviewed them for the Struggling Artist podcast too. I've listened to this record a few times on Bandcamp in order to familiarize myself with it, and also because fuck the post office. The record has a harder sound to it than I would typically listen to recently. For me, it does make up for that infusing strong melodies with well-written lyrics. Standout tracks for me are Smells Like American Spirit, Coping, and what's the other one? Pure Mess. On the Cinder is doing a West Coast tour in June, coming through San Diego on the 7th, and I'll be at the show. I am sure seeing them live will make my appreciation for this music stronger. And fuck
easily.
And fuck the post office. All right.
Easily, dude. Their live show is fucking killer. You want to talk about high energy?
So
this band is like sweating bullets by the time they're off stage.
Yeah. I remember I went to see them in Worcester, and like they made me out of breath just from them. Like,
it's fucking
I was just standing there,
it's
like,
a killer show.
Yeah, no, they go nuts. So they played at a. Ryan messaged me early this morning, I guess it would be, but it was late last night for him still. He went and saw them like he said he was going to. They played at a record store.
Oh, nice.
And I guess like there wasn't that big of a crowd, but he said they played for like if there was 1,000 people there, which is very on what they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. They bring it, dude.
Yeah.
They bring it.
So good for them. I'm happy that he got to see them. I'm happy that, he got to buy a record, even though I sent him one. Yeah. So, all right,
I wonder if he said anything, if he was just like, hey, yeah, I was supposed to get this in a record club,
I don't know.
I'm buying it here.
I asked him if he introduced himself, and I haven't heard.
That's funny.
From him. So, all right, I guess it's All right, Dave.
Here we go.
Dave, I love you, but I just killed a tree to print out your email. Let's see how this goes. All right, this is Dave. We all know Dave, right? You gonna say it?
Dave's not here.
Thank you. What was that? Wayne's World again? I forgot.
Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong. That's what it was. All right. So, let's just kind of talk about Dave real quick. Last month's review was absolutely amazing. He
took us on a journey.
He did, and this is no different. He talked about his wife throwing him out and his job kicking him out for listening to Dirt over and over. By the way, Charlie Thornton loved the recap for that album.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, even though you called them Nickelback in it. God, he laid into it though. But anyway, yeah, he loved Dave's review too. So, yeah, Charlie's a good guy. He's funny, he's quick witted, and he can take a joke. So, Thank
Nice.
God, because you called him basically you called him Chad.
Good
Grover.
God.
Yeah. So.
Knock it off.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah. We know what you're just saying.
All right. From Dave. When the pristine package arrived, I eagerly ripped into it. When my eyes saw it was the new On the Cinder album, I couldn't help but smile and mutter to myself, "Oh shit." But let's rewind a bit. I mentioned pristine when describing the package because Trev was annoyed that I used the phrase crusty cardboard container in my last review. All right, dude. Look, I wasn't annoyed. I just said I use top
You're
of
gonna
the
lose your
line.
spout again.
Yeah, I just use top of the line stuff. All right, in my last review, blah, blah, blah. Trev, I'm surprised you didn't get the connection. I used it because the review focused on the song Dirt, and crusty seemed to fit the concept. Okay. All right. That's all right. Okay. You want to be all right. If you want to speak in metaphors, that's fine. All right. A long time ago, I read a review with Matt Skiba of Alkaline Trio, where he mentioned that he made up a lot of lyrics because they sounded cool. After listening to the song Dirt, I thought they sounded like a grunge version of Alkaline Trio since they were both from Chicago, so I thought crusty cardboard container sounded cool. Are we really? Is this like 3 pages of this fucking cardboard?
I see this.
All right. Crusty cardboard container sounded cool and fit in well the theme of the review. Just to clarify, Trev's cardboard containers are so spotless you could serve breakfast on them and not worry about catching anything. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
Well, I don't buy paper plates anymore. I just save your packaging
just
when
save
I get
the
it.
cardboard. Another thing about my review from last month, my wife keeps pestering me again and again, insisting I clarify that she didn't kick me out of the house and that I wasn't fired from my job. I told her flat out that there was no way I was going to explain that. Why? All right, here's the thing. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story, Dave. I agree with you. You don't owe us any explanation whatsoever. You know? So, but anyway, it's infuriating what society and music have become. Everything's handed out on a silver platter. People can hardly focus for more than a second. What happened to sweating for your craft? You can't listen to a 10-minute review and come to the conclusion yourself. But when I was a teenager, I had to drive 45 minutes to the only record store that carried punk albums. I would buy Maximum Rock and Rock and Roll magazines and other zines to read reviews and then make a list of albums I wanted to buy. Then drive the 45 minutes back to the store and hope and pray the record still had them in stock.
Nice.
Nowadays, we listen to
That's
any album.
old school, dude. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nowadays, we listen to any album for free or pay $12 a month to Spotify. All the effort is gone. We can order albums with just a few clicks from our phones. Listen, dude, keep ordering albums for me. Like, what are you're killing my brand, Dave. Let me do the hard lifting for you, you know? That's why I'm here. All right.
At least for one album. You can still do that.
Every month, one album, yes.
Yeah, at least one. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone join. All the effort is gone. We can order albums with just a few clicks from our phones. Do we even let albums resonate and live in our minds? Probably not. We listen, and if on the first try we didn't find something interesting, we move on with our day, probably jumping on Instagram or YouTube to look at hot chicks or weird videos. All right. Okay, now let's connect this to On the Cinder. This isn't just a random rant, so please bear with me. I believe On the Cinder would agree with me because they epitomize the do-it-yourself ethos with the punk movement. They built their own studio and own their own record label. They could easily be on a big label like Thousand Island Records, People of Punk Rock Records, Red Scare Records, and Iodine Records. But they've chosen to do things the old-fashioned way, which is working hard and earning success through touring and sacrifice. They don't want to be YouTube stars or sellouts like Green Day who make music for the masses. God damn. This dude's coming in hot. You're coming in hot. They're a band that lives in the underground, creating grimy, melodic, real punk. If this were the early 90s, On the Cinder would sell around 200,000 copies of this album, maybe more. But now with music basically being free, it is very hard to make any money unless you compromise your style and sell your soul. On the Cinder gives a big middle finger to the modern scene and instead tells the world they will build their own studio, create their own record label, and play $5 basement shows. They're a band that will not cater to the short attention span generation, just as I refuse to explain how I was not fired or separated from my wife. Okay, so now back to my oh shit moment. When I first heard On the Cinder and a new album coming out, I thought to myself, I should send Trev a message about this. On the Cinder would be a great candidate for the record club. Weeks went by, and every single day, Trev's message nagged at the back of my mind. But did I ever send it? Of course not. Why? Due to one of the most ridiculously infuriating inventions humanity has ever conceived, the asinine 5-day work week with a measly 2-day reprieve, it's nearly impossible to accomplish anything meaningful when set. It's impossible to accomplish anything meaningful with saddled with just 2 pathetic days off. And what do those two days amount to? Errands, grocery shopping, and an endless list of chores. Preach, right. Dave. A buddy of mine launched a website a decade and a half ago, relentlessly championing for the sensible 4-day, 40-hour work schedule. Just the other day, someone left this powerful message on it. I'm 56 and a 5-day work week has made me realize I never really had a life. It makes me ashamed of bringing 2 people into this world with no 4-day work week. Human slavery needs to end now. Whew. All right.
Yeah.
As for myself, I'd say the 40-hour part needs to be 32. Work 4 days, 8 hours each. Imagine having 3 days off with 3 days off. I have the energy and motivation to message Trev about On the Cinder, but in the end, it all worked out since we received On the Cinder anyway, so thank you, Trev. Of course, you're welcome. By the way, thank Chris Chavez, because Chris Chavez brought On the Cinder to a roundtable episode years ago. Years ago. And then I saw Arya Rad was talking about them, and I said, oh, it must be good if Arya's talking about it, so I'll listen to it now.
Fuck Chris, man, but if Arya said it, dude.
I'm kidding. All right, let's see. Let me just make sure I'm on awesome, the right page. There's so many pages. Okay. So what annoys me the most in life is the 5-day work week. Is this a review? All right, this relates to On the Cinder. Okay, here we go. This relates to On the Cinder. When you read their lyrics, you can tell they're angry about different things in life as well. Their lyrics express their frustrations, and it might not be the same as my gripe with the 5-day, 40-hour work week, but the specific issue doesn't matter. What matters is the listener can feel genuine and honest emotions in your music. That's very nice. Music is very subjective to me. I don't care what the band writes about. I relate the lyrics to my own life. When I listen to On the Cinder, I can feel their annoyance and anger at life. Lyrics like, don't say you're sorry to me. There's contempt for the jury. Another purge. Oh, I just dropped his whole email. I just dropped like 4 pages. All right. Hold on. I gotta start that over. Don't say sorry to me. There's a contempt for the jury. Another purging ready to set you free. Cast aside completed simple crime. Never see the knife coming from behind. And don't say you're sorry to me after you got what you wanted. Another hollow apology. High scores were meant to be broken. You're dead. Game over. Pay more tokens. Carve out what makes you sick. All right, hold on. He's just doing lyrics after lyrics. Let me pick up this bundle of paper, which is Dave's review. All right, what's the next set of lyrics here? Depressed, exhausted, and all alone, I can feel the heat escape my bones. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, let's change subjects and discuss the band's strange name. Okay. Fat Mike of NoFX has said countless times that when people have to constantly ask what your band name means, it's not a good thing. I wonder if people do the same thing with the name On the Cinder. I asked them that, Dave. If you listened to the episode I did with them, you would know. I know for the longest time, my brain always thought about the phrase on the dole, which means receiving benefits from the government. Anyway, let's try to figure out what the name might mean. All right. If you look online for the phrase "on the cinder," the first thing that comes up is about a brand. Is info about the band itself. So Fat Mike missed that part. Oh, this is too good not to read. All right. All right. When you have a unique name, you can find info immediately when searching online or on Spotify. We see the On the Cinder in a three-piece melodic punk band from New York, fueled by cheap beer and fear of growing old while hoping to create something genuine, raw, and ballsy. As I scroll further down, it's still all about On the Cinder. So his Google search is like everything's about the band when he typed in that name. So having this unique name is a benefit because when you look them up online, you're presented with tons of information just for the band and nothing else. However, we still don't know exactly what the name means. So let's look up the word cinder. Okay.
Do you remember, Trev, where they got it from? We'll talk about it after you're done.
Okay, because I don't.
Or because we see maybe Dave gets to it. Maybe he finds out.
The first thing that shows up with the meaning of cinder was which is a slag from a metal furnace. I don't think that's what the band was going for. Then we have directions to Cinder Bar in New Jersey, a book called Cinder, a company called Cinder.com, Cindersmoke.com, a weed dispensary, then a computer program called Cinder, which is Meta's internal performance-oriented production version of Siphon, which powers Instagram. Cinder Grill, this guy's killing me, an indoor grill device. A review about Cinder Grills saying the $400 device is not well done, but a good cast iron pan. Cinder Restaurant, Cinder Wines in Idaho. This is a cold read. I want everyone to know that I'm like, I didn't read this prior. Like, this is me reading it in the now. Whew. Cinder Wines in Idaho, hailed as one of the best urban wineries. At this point, I know Trev is freaking out. Good call. Throwing items at Chris, pounding his hands on his keyboard, thinking about lighting the studio on fire, basically, and then sending me the ashes with a note that says, "You caused all of this, Mr. Anderson, you filthy bastard." See, Trev is foaming at the mouth right now. I am, because during the podcast interview with On the Trev is foaming at the mouth right now because during the podcast interview with On the Cinder, he asked them what the name means. So why am I wasting everybody's time then? If we already know the meaning of On the Cinder. I can't stand this guy right now. He's trolling the shit out of me.
He's so awesome.
In an email that I got at 12:30 this afternoon.
This is so awesome.
All right.
Perfect. Dave, keep going.
Oh. Well, if you remember what I said earlier, music is subjective, so when the band explained to Trev that the name came to be, I felt nothing. It didn't excite me or make me feel alive. So you decided to make me feel like fucking go crazy. This exercise I'm doing right now is about finding a meaning I like. So finally, I had found something that I like. When someone asked on the internet, "What is a cinder?" the response is the following: a partially or mostly burned piece of coal or wood, residue of combustion, ashes, the last word, ashes. If only 5 letters, but one of the most powerful words in our language. I will explain. Of course you will, Dave. To me, On the Cinder now means taking something flawed and outdated like the 5-day, 40-hour work week, burning it down and creating something new and better from the ashes. Let's see. I just want to make sure I have the right pages here. Okay. On the Cinder now has a meaning I appreciate and can identify with. I've always liked the idea of destroying something that doesn't work to create something better. So now, when I think of the name On the Cinder, it makes me hopeful and optimistic. It reminds me that in life, when we think critically and independently and not blindly follow what the establishment dictates, we can dismantle the flawed and build something better in its place from the ashes. Finally, the music itself. It's about fucking time, Dave. What if this was like one sentence? It was good. You know what I mean? Like,
It was great.
yeah.
See you next week.
I've been a fan of melodic skate punk, melodic hardcore, and melodic punk for nearly 30 years. I knew immediately once I heard this style of music, I would be an addict for life. But instead of a needle in my arm, it would be a needle on a record. On the Cinder plays this style of music exceptionally well. They remind me a lot of one of my favorite bands, a Wilhelm Scream, who is in my opinion have been the leaders of this genre for a long time. However, with this new album, I think On the Cinder is now one of the leaders in this genre as well. I know it's a bold statement, but that's how I see it. Go big or go home, and On the Cinder went big with this album. This album opens with a song that celebrates the DIY ethics. If you recall what I said earlier about how this band is insanely DIY, there is nothing more DIY than a basement show. Thus, the opening lyrics is pay your $5 at the door and get down here. This is probably the catchiest song on the album, with the chorus of the all-American spirit, so true you'll never believe it. Under-brittled pride rusts the same. The next song, Coping, starts off with a powerful guitar that delivers pure auditory ecstasy. I merged those two words together.
Nice.
Then the super catchy chorus kicks in. All right, enough with fucking... I'm not singing these songs, dude. Like, I'm not sad that it's over. I'm just glad that it happened at all. Murals, headstones, monuments, memories all left behind. I'm not sad that it's over, but I'm holding on to Last Call. That is a good chorus, by the way. The topic of the song is gloomy and sad, but the tune is incredibly catchy and uplifting, making you feel better after listening to it. The third song is my favorite on the album, and one of my favorite songs ever in the genre. Yes, I know. Another bold statement. That's how I roll. Anyway, it's complete. It's complete package with brilliant lyrics, guitars, and chorus. I would love to analyze the rest of the song. That's my favorite thing about doing these reviews. It forces me to really think about each song. In the end, the album feels like an extension of my soul. But like I said earlier, this is the age of a short attention span. So you think a 6-page email is short attention span? We need to have a little discussion. I'm just kidding. I love your emails.
Hell yeah.
All right. But like I said earlier, this is the age of the short attention spans. So I will sum things up with the following. On the Cinder has created one of the best melodic skate punk hardcore albums in years. Lastly, the artwork. Lately, I can't handle all the skate punk bands doing goofy artwork and goofy band names. There have been a few albums I wanted to purchase, but the artwork and band names were so goofy I had to pass. That's a thing. That is a thing. Sorry. Oof. I've even stated buying some death metal. I've even started buying some death metal and metalcore albums because I like the artwork and how the band looks pissed off. I am not a fan of these skate punk bands that in pictures are all smiling and laughing, trying to look goofy. I miss the days of old punk rock bands looking pissed off, jaded, and broken. Dave is at his get off my lawn phase in life.
I love it. This is great.
Oh,
this is
man.
so good.
We're on the last page, people, I promise.
This is so good.
This is the longest recap ever. During Trev's interview with Flatfoot 56 last month, the singer mentioned, hey, Dave, you listen. Thank you.
Hey,
thanks,
there you
buddy.
go.
I should have known when you said that. I did go over their name on the Cinder episode. Anyway, During the Trev's interview with the Flat 56 last month, the singer mentioned that he wished he could assist bands with their artwork, band names, and overall vibes. That was a very big conversation that we had, yes. He shared that he would often listen to an album and enjoy it, but wouldn't buy any merchandise because it was clear the band had neglected their part of their mission statement to the world. First, let's congratulate Trev on interviewing Flatfoot 56. I love that band and learned so much I didn't know. Hey, great job, Trev. Thanks, Dave. I take back everything I've said to you throughout this entire email, Dave.
Over the past 45 minutes.
Yeah. Anyway, I've always thought the same thing that Flatfoot 56 said. So many bands make great music, but then blow it when it comes to artwork, t-shirt designs, and band names. Fortunately, On the Cinder didn't mail it in the cover. Unfortunately, On the Cinder didn't mail it in for the cover. You can tell there was lots of thought and attention to detail. The cover features a bunch of punks in a house being torn apart by two giant hands, fitting the album title Heavy Handed. Perfectly in the middle of the house being destroyed, there's a basement punk show taking place, so they really got the artwork right. My only complaint, of course you have a complaint. My only complaint is that the vinyl is just green. I should have liked to see the additional. I would have liked to see some additional colors and designs instead of just one solid color. They did mark it 81 of 500. First pressing on the album cover. They did do that. I forgot to mention that. They did handwrite like on every single one what number it was. And there's different colors. They gave me a variety of colors. I don't know who gets what. Sorry, you got the just.
I think there was a red, a blue, a purple, and a green.
Yeah.
And a clear as well.
And I think the solid colors, I want to say when there's like multicolors in it, like the sound quality doesn't. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere once. They did mark it 81 out of 500. First pressing on the album cover and insert, which is a nice touch. And if I recall, they had many other colors to choose from besides green. But again, it's a solid color instead of incorporating other colors and designs. In the end, On the Cinder proves they are one of the best bands playing this style of music. It will remain on one of my favorite albums of 2024. Trev mentioned in the last record review podcast that his 1 year anniversary as the proprietor of our fine club was approaching. As a thank you, I think the roles should be reversed. Have Trev pay Chris and have Chris then send Trev a record so he can experience the joy we all feel from opening an unknown package each month.
That's a good idea. And I might start just sending you some stuff, dude.
And how appropriate that is. I wrap up this review. The mailman has just delivered June's package. Ooh.
Nice.
Damn it, Trev. It's only June 8th, and we already have it. I can't wait to rip open the crusty cardboard container and find out which album I can obsess over.
Love it.
Dave, that was super long. But I appreciate you so much.
It was awesome.
Your emails are always hilarious, and you always get your point across. You do a good job.
You're gonna have to have your sound effect of the crowd cheering ready every time you finish Dave emails.
All right, Dave, this is for you. That was for you, Dave.
There you go.
We appreciate you.
Ryan as well. That was awesome.
Yes, Ryan.
His reviews were awesome.
Yes, Ryan. Thank you for coming back. I am so sorry, Ryan, that your post office fucking blows.
Yeah.
I tried to get you more records, and but him and I, we've talked. We have a fix for that, so I'm hoping it's fixed now. So
nice.
Yes, and to everyone out there, sign up for the record club. So. We're July.
Or sign someone up. Get it as a gift for somebody.
Father's Day.
If that's not your thing, because you're like, I don't want to be collecting vinyl and having it stack up. If that's not your thing, somebody in your life is into vinyl or music.
Right.
Get this for them as a gift. Get them a month. Get them 3 months. Whatever.
This drops on the Friday before Father's Day. So grab your data subscription to Struggling Artist Record Club.
Do it.
And then let him embarrass you with all of his punk rock music that he's going to play in front of your friends in his underwear.
Do it.
All right, one more thing. David just mentioned that we are coming up on the 1 year. We are. So July. Next month will be the year when I took it over. So we'll talk more about that next month anyway. Okay. I appreciate everybody who listens, who writes reviews for us. Even though we only need Ryan and Dave to do so, to get a full episode out. But, give us a shot. Come buy some, come on, support a local,
do it.
A small business,
do it.
I'm not making any money from this. I'm just having fun curating and sending you guys music. And like Dave said, I'm doing the heavy lifting for you guys. I am doing the heavy lifting, and I appreciate, I love doing it. So join today, strugglingartistrecordclub.com. If you want to send us, if you are a record club member or someone who's listening to this and hates Dave's emails, let us know. Text us 774-570-1552 or leave us a voicemail and we will play it on here as well. 774-570-1552. Until next month doing the recaps, Chris Chavez and I will talk to you all later on.
See ya.
If I'm at the door and can't down here. Play a five at the door. Play a five at the door and get down here. Inflict combustion. Rebuild destruction. Around here I'm fighting for every day's seasonal depression. Of perennial condition. Thousands of the bottom shelf. Reservation cigarettes. Cheapskate, cheap date, cheap fate. It's a revolution in every yes. Smells like American spirits. So loud you can feel it.